Shez.
And I'm Cal.
Together we are SheKan.
And this is Spill the Prosecco.
Okay, this episode is brought to you by Del Zorro. Thanks for having us. We love you, King Valley. The best.
The best. Okay, we are final episode of season 1.
Oh, my God. How do we get through a season? I can't believe we're done. Good
I know.
God. I loved it.
It's gone so quick. So,
Obsessed.
pop the bottle. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm a bit sad.
I know.
I really enjoyed it.
I know.
All
I
right,
feel like
I hope you're all hanging on for season 2. She's going to be hot.
We're going to be like, rebook the dream house. We're coming back. We're doing it all the things.
Yeah, not negotiable. Go.
So the main pour, the theme of this is basically taking us up to the interruption, which, like, we're going to rip the Band-Aid off and we're going to probably do it really quick because, not going to lie, it was a shit time.
The most fucked time of our lives. We both hated it.
So we alluded in episode 7 that, like, 16 when we started SheKan, but 17 and 18, 19 were, like, we were caught in it. Like, we were... Everything was happening. Yeah. I said to Shez this morning when we were planning out the podcast, I was like, we were basically Eddie everywhere. This is what I like. We were Horsham, Mildura, we were Kilmore. We were covering.
We used to think overachievers was a cool thing.
Yeah. And we were then in Victoria, New South Wales, South Australia and Tasmania. Like, we were doing all of the things. We were on fire. Our business model was working, the free 3-hour into the 2-day escape, into the 4-day retreat. We were then doing, we were working with law firms and accountancy firms. Like, we were doing professional development. Like, everything was happening. We had our team. And then our 4-day event in Bendigo in March of 2020 finished 2 days before Victoria went into their first lockdown. And I always say it's when the world went mad. For Shez and I, it was our great awakening. It was just one of the most...
That was so shit.
Shittest times. People will say, because I'm very aware that many people loved that time because it allowed them to move away from their jobs and back into their homes with their family, and they got quality family.
I hated it.
Absolutely. And a lot of people will be like, what was it? And I was like, it was one of, if not the hardest times of my life. I lost my mum when she was 56, which was over 13 years ago now. And I was like, strangely and weirdly borderline worse than that. Like, it was just such a fucking terrible time. And so, we had events booked and the event business just shut down overnight, didn't it? Like, it was just like, and I will never forget, we were walking around the lake at Bendigo at that event. And we're like, because it was kind of happening. We had a few people.
Should we be buying groceries?
Yeah, no, we had a few people that weren't coming to the event and we were like, what is this, do you reckon? And I was like, oh, do you reckon it's only the strong survives? Kind of sort of taking the piss out of it. We just had no idea. And I mean, being in Victoria, if you're someone that lived through that time in Victoria, the most lockdown, Melbourne was the most lockdown city in the world. It was, and I don't want to recap because it was just a fucking shit show. No. But I will say it was one of the most challenging times for me personally. I know as a company we were doing our best to be like, what can we do to support the women in our community? So we were doing tribe time online, we would meet online and, it was just a really shit time.
Yeah, and I think we've alluded to before that belly to belly was our jam. So we'd see so many companies adapting and jumping to online and we just knew that wasn't us. Our magic, we were never recorded rooms. We were never, multi-purpose. So it was always the belly to belly magic of events was always our jam and we couldn't do it. So
it's really interesting you say that because we actually did have an online program before online programs were a thing called the Happiness Hub. And and we just knew that that wasn't where our genius was, nor where we wanted our energy to go. So we did our best to maintain the community and keep people connected. But we really struggled. And I think the big...
as good as we were, that was not for us. The lockdown stuff was not for us.
And I think we both knew that we had so many, what we used to say was so many tools in our toolbox that you could reach for when you were feeling, frustrated or low or whatever it was. And these were the tools that we taught so many women in our rooms. But the reality is that we were so low that we were just like fucking not even opening the lid of the toolbox, not even interested.
No, couldn't do a thing. Good, God forbid you
And
do
it
a
was
Facebook post.
Yeah. And so, it was a really, really challenging time. And as I said, I don't want to rehash what was an absolutely fucking ridiculous shit show of a time in Victoria. It was during that time that things, we had events that were pre-sold that would be on, then they'd be off, and then they'd be on, and then they'd be off. And, we were talking about lockdowns and all of the things.
The stress and the pressure and the frustration in that was, it was cruel.
It really was.
I mean, and we were one business of many that were experiencing this.
Yeah, like entering into, we're working with venues. So venues are ordering food and then they can't go ahead and like all of the things. But it was during this time that, we were doing obviously no events, and we had events that we had to fulfill because they were sold out. And I can remember early 2021, and I was really thinking to myself, I think I'm done. It had just been such a horrendous sort of 10 or 11 months. And I can remember the feeling that I had when I was coming to the end of my time in my Alabaster franchise, and I got to the point where I almost hated.
Yeah.
I hated going to work, and I was like, I never, ever want to feel that way about SheKan. I want to end when it's still good. And whilst the pressure and the external environment was really, really hard and challenging and heavy, I knew I had to have the conversation with Shez, and I said, I think we're done. And this was early 20.
This moves us into spilled everywhere.
Yeah, I think this is early 2021, and the world, like, we just still were not sure if we were coming or going. We didn't know if we were after or Martha.
We were not at our personal best anyway.
Well, we weren't, and the event space was still so hit and miss. Like, the girls were going to school, and then next minute they're in, homeschooling,
and
lockdown.
Where I could see other companies thrived in this space, it was absolutely not us.
No.
Yeah.
And so we had that conversation, and as difficult as that conversation was, I think we came to the agreement. It was like, we don't ever want to hate this. Like, this was going to be our legacy. And I think...
Do you remember where you were when we had that conversation? I remember physically where I was sitting.
I was at my kitchen table.
I was in what we had as the study in Lakeview Circuit in Yarrawonga. Like, I was sitting there I remember that call.
Yeah, no, I was like, which was my kind of makeshift office at the time. And I think because back then when I reflect on it, it was like the world was still unknown to us. Like, we were still in and out of lockdowns, and so we made the decision that we were going to do the events that we had sold.
Yep, committed to.
And they're committed to. And then we would wind up the company, and so we made the decision to go live in February of 2021 and announce that we were winding up.
Fuck. Do you remember the crippling sick feeling in your belly
Absolutely.
to do that?
Yes.
Do you remember where we did it?
We did it at the office in the front room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I felt sick.
And so I guess essentially that's kind of going to bring us to the end of season 1, because season 2 is going to talk about what transpired after we made that decision. But
to tell a community of people that you've lifted up and supported for such a long time that we're just all of a sudden just going to pull the rug and stop when everything in your world is pulling a rug was a tough thing to say. And the weight of responsibility had not been on my shoulders since that very first Back at 2 Day event.
Yeah.
I hadn't felt it more in this moment than I did sharing that story.
Yeah. And so it was the right decision at the right time. And little did we know that there would be many other decisions to come after that. But, yeah, so many lessons and learns.
So I think we're just probably going to put a bow on it there.
I think so.
Join us for season 2.
Yeah.
A taster will come, I promise. And because, it gets better from here, but know that that was hands down for Cal and I, of all the tough stuff in our business, that was one of the toughest things we've ever had to do.
Absolutely. And there's many other things that happen from that point on that get us to what essentially is SheKan 2.0. But, yeah, we have navigated a lot to come out the other side. But
thanks for hanging in.
Huge thank you.
Last sip.
Thank you for being here.
Happy season 1.
Yep. And season 2 is going to be even bigger and better than season 1. We don't even know what we've got in store yet, but it'll be great.
Good job.
So cheers.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Before we close out season 1, we want to take you back to the moment that everything changed.
What you're about to hear is the live stream recording from 2021 when we announced we were stopping SheKan.
It's raw, unedited, and deeply personal, and it marks the end of an era and the beginning of what came next.
Hello, everybody. Shez and Cal from SheKan coming to you live from Cal's house. How's the cockatoos in the background?
Sorry, we've got the window open. I should have closed it.
How are you all? So for those that have read the title, we wanted to jump on and share with you after a long time of deliberation and conversation, we have decided that as of this year and our last 2 day and our 4 day in May, that will be the end of SheKan as we know it. We've decided to stop what we've known and loved for the past 5 years. And the decision, there's multiple things surrounding the decisions. We are a roller coaster of emotions, but we wanted to let our audience know our core has always been to be authentic and be honest, and that's what we're doing. We're sharing that with you now. So yeah, we're moving on to what we don't know, to the unknown. I want you to know we're in an amazing spot as friends, which is always the case. It's come with it's a head and heart decision. COVID was really tough on us and on SheKan as a business, and to rebuild the brand to how we know and love it is just not something that we have in us right now. We've both got young families. We've got amazing husbands that are incredibly busy, and we just know the best choice for us and our families is to be at home here with them, and we just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, and I guess I just want to reiterate on what Shez said, is that we are in a really good spot. We're very, very happy and content with our decision. It's not to say that there isn't any sadness or even maybe a little bit of anxiety about, okay, so that's taken up so much of our life for the last 5 years, what is next? However, we have always spoken about, I guess, giving yourself space, and when you provide yourself the space in your life, then good things and new things can come in. And we're not in a rush. As Shez said, we've got 2 incredible 2-day events to still complete, as well as our 4 days. So we have our 2-day next week in Albury, which we are so excited for. It's about 4 weeks short of an entire year since our last event.
Wait, it took us a while to get the live stream working.
I know, it's So yeah, we're super excited. We have the 2-day in March in Shepparton, and then of course our 4-day event here in Yarrawonga at the beautiful Siebel at the end of May, which will be our last hurrah, which we are absolutely without question going to make that, you know, the best event ever, a huge celebration of what has been by then almost 5.5 years of pure fun and joy. Don't get me wrong, roller coaster, ups and downs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're good, and we wanted to make this decision when we still loved SheKan.
Yeah, that's I think that's a huge thing, and we've talked to people about this. We wanted to make this decision while we still loved it, while we were still in a place of that we think it's a really special thing and something that is going to always hold a beautiful place in our heart, versus having any angst or ill feeling about it. So we're super proud of that. We are going to open up registrations for the 2-day and the 4-day, and if you ever wanted to be at one, or you've been but you want to be there again, we'd love to have you. And we're really proud that it's actually here in our hometown. That makes it even more special for us.
Yes.
You know, we talked about when we first started, our families were so young. You know, my girls were younger than what Kel's girls are now, and we know as mums that this is a really important time to be there for our family, and that's what we've chosen to do. So
yeah. And you know, as She said before, like to I guess, you know, rebuild and to get SheKan back to what it was, and you know, that's probably not even possible in the landscape.
Yeah, that's right.
Things have changed so much in the world as we know it, and so for us, we just know that the time is right.
Yeah, you know, people have suggested, what about online? And, you know, people close to us that we've shared, you know, where we're headed. And online was never our gig. We love people. We love live events. We love getting in the trenches with you all. So that's the path that we love the most. So, yeah.
And we wanted to, and we always did remain true to the fact that we wouldn't do something just for the income.
Yeah.
You know, we had so many of our beautiful community reach out to us, you know, right at the beginning of the shit show that has been the world, and said, you know, like, let's do events online, virtual events, and it's just not where we know we're best.
Yeah.
And we actually don't enjoy it. And so we didn't want to do that in order to just sort of, you know, I guess capitalize on what was happening. And for those that did it and do it well and love it, kudos to you. But for us, it just was never something that we were drawn or pulled to do. So we're beyond excited to get back to our live events. Please, everyone, put out good vibes that the events we have scheduled will go ahead as planned. But yeah, we're super excited and really just want to fully immerse and enjoy the remaining 3 events that we have. We've also got an event with Lockie, our joint venture partner in SheKan Transform at the end of May. The end of April, first weekend of May. So yeah, lots to enjoy before we finish. And you know, as you know, when we spoke to the team and some other people, we're not going anywhere. We just, I guess, won't be here as SheKan.
Yeah, so you'll see us as something else, and we honestly don't know what that is. There's nothing, which is a real beautiful feeling for both of us. We haven't had that for a while. So here's what we know. Please reach out. You know, if you have any questions or concerns, we want to hear from you, but also please be patient. We know that we're going to have a lot of messages, and some of the answers we may not have just yet, but yeah, please be patient with us. We will get back to you as soon as we can. And we're really, really, as Kel said, cannot wait for these, the last of our events. It's going to be a massive celebration. And yeah, just watch this space.
Yeah, and just to you know, let everyone know that all of our remaining events are ran with a, not going to say it, but a safe plan. Because the minute I say it, they'll put some bullshit government tagging stuff on it, and I don't want that. So, but we are doing it safely. We're running it in venues that also have, you know, full plans. And so, you know, we'll be adhering to numbers and to all of the guidelines and regulations that we need. So just in case you're questioning that, I want to put that up at the forefront.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, whilst we're opening events, they still absolutely, without question, will be limited numbers. I believe there would be a few for Albury available, and Shepparton, and then of course the 4-day is open as well.
Yeah, and if you haven't done a 2 and you're really interested in 4, we're more than happy to bend the rules. It's just a conversation. Just come and have a chat to us, and we can go from there. But we truly just wanted you all to know from the bottom of our heart, thank you for all of your support, for being at events, for playing at 100%, for jumping on this roller coaster that we have called SheKan, and being part of our story. And as Kel said today, you know, we'll have stories about this time in our lives for so many years to come. And the stories are what's going to keep it such an amazing part of our lives alive. So thank you so much for being a part of that.
Absolutely. We're so grateful. We've had, you know, so many opportunities to travel, you know, near and far, so many different states in Australia, but also internationally because of what we've created with SheKan, and that, you know, that is going to be lifelong memories. We've met some incredible people from right across the world.
Worked with some amazing mentors.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a hell of a ride, and you know, a lot of people leave business, myself included. I've done this in the past. I've left a business, slamming the door, walking away, almost like, thank goodness that is done and dusted. Like, you know, and we just didn't want that.
No, which is
so
why we can
perfect,
sit here
right,
and be so great about it. We are absolutely celebrating with pizza and prosecco, 2 of our favourites tonight. And come end of 4-day May, we know we will feel as amazing as what we do right now in this decision, for what's been the most incredible 5 years.
Yeah, and there's been so many people behind the scenes. You know, we've got an incredible team and a whole range of different people that have given us so much support and always been there right throughout the journey. We've spoken to them, they know who they are, you know, and of course, it would be here forever if we wanted to run through them all. But just
a definite huge shout out to Joey and Squidgy.
Yes,
and of course to our girls. They were such a huge part of us building this, and it's our turn to give back to them.
Yeah, my girls cried when I told them. But you know, they will come to understand the decisions as time goes on. That's it. And I just want to reiterate what she says. Please be patient. If you do message or have inquiries, then just give us some time. We will actually put the link up to the events that are coming up, which will, of course, be our final events. And if you do have any questions, reach out and just give us a little bit extra time to reply.
Yeah, and you know, getting all woo, it was raining when we started this, and now we've shared with our community the sun has come out, so that's a great sign, I think.
I'm not sure what to say about the cockies, but they're either really happy or not at all. Not sure. But yeah, so thank you so much. To each and every one of you that have been along to events, followed along on Facebook, Instagram. We really appreciate it. Without you guys, we wouldn't have had the ride we did.
Yeah. So sending you lots of love. We'll be in touch.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That's a wrap on season 1.
We're taking a 4-week break before season 2.
See you soon. Bye.